Well, I just got finished watching Dream Scenario, starring Nick Cage, and I was not prepared. I was not prepared for. It's a painful movie to watch. It's painful. Um, I felt it. I felt it. Um, I don't know whether I'm gonna get angry or cry right now. But it hit me very, very hard. Um, there's a reason to be angry. There's a reason to be sad. Uh, I would say go see it, um, but be ready to get. I don't know. Actually, I don't know what other people's reaction to this movie will be. I felt it very, very directly. It scored a direct hit. Um, I'm not going to say I'm exactly like Nick Cage's character in this movie. I don't want to be like the guy in a lot of ways. He starts off just like the most benign, like beta male kind of person. Um, you know, Never really stands up for himself. Nobody really respects him. But everybody just kind of sees him as this sort of I don't know, this nice guy, but who's sort of forgettable, and you can take advantage of, and like he's got some colleague who stole his ideas and didn't give him credit, but he can't, and he like just wants her to apologize to him and just expects that it's going to happen on its own. Um, so like there are things that annoy me about the character at first in the opening scenario. Um, but then the twist that the movie takes, um, and it is a twisted twist. As twists go, this is a twisted twist. Um, wow, like how much do I want to give away? I won't. I'll just say, you know, the you probably know enough by the preview to know that the the idea of the movie is that for some reason Nick Cage's character suddenly turns up in people's dreams, and at first he's just this absolutely benign presence. Uh, Benign is like, but like he's benign, but benign is like a little too positive because you think of somebody as been like a tumor is benign, and it's like, oh well, we don't really have to worry about it now. And it's sort of like he's sort of like that, but he's also just sort of pathetic, like just somebody who just sits back and doesn't do anything and isn't really engaged with anybody. And there's only one exception. He meets one exception to that rule of somebody who's in whose dreams he appears very positively. But when he tries to engage with that person, which is a mistake, but I don't want to say any more than that. This is not a spoiler review. But when he decides to try to engage with this person, this one person who doesn't see him as just this benign fuddy-duddy nobody, paunchy, middle-aged, balding, aging, boring white man. um, the one person who sees him, who has positive dreams about him, that leads to the disastrous uh, um, their disastrous meeting, his meeting with this one other person, uh, has a disastrous twist, and now it leads to him being this hateful presence in people's dreams. So I'll give away that much. which leads to him being absolutely shunned by society. Even though, it's just dreams. He hasn't done anything. But, if people feel that way, if people feel uncomfortable, maybe you didn't mean to say the wrong, maybe you meant it something differently. But the way people took it, that has to be honored. We have to honor their lived experience. The phrase lived experience gets used. Rather amusingly. And there are some amusing scenes, but it's such a... Oh my gosh, this is painful because it's so personal. It feels very, very personal. And if you see it, you'll maybe know why. You'll maybe understand why. That is the case, at least for me, and I suspect maybe for some others as well. It speaks to our times, It speaks to cancel culture, yes, obviously, and it's pretty ballsy in that respect. In what it, it's negative take on cancel culture, which I don't know why that's so ballsy, because it seems like every time you hear about cancel culture, it's about people hating it, and yet somehow it's controversial to be against it, that should tell you something. That should tell you that the people who are promoting it have a lot of power, and power means influence, and so forth and so on. Whew. All right, I'm walking to my car. That's not the right car. I felt like I wanted to just say something coming right out of the theater. I was not expecting to get hit that hard by this movie. I wasn't expecting to get punched in the jaw by this movie, but man, it's so painful. It's so painful to sit through. And, it has so much resonance. Like I said, I'm not saying I'm that guy. But on the other hand, it takes the literally me thing to a whole new level. Here's a Spanish moss tree that I want to... Maybe this will be good for y'all to see. I always loved Spanish moss, and they're unique to this area. They were brought here by the Spaniards, of course. Those colonial bastards. But Spanish moss is pretty nice. Pretty nice thing. So anyway, I think I'll wrap it up there. I won't take too much longer. It's if you know how it feels to get shunned and to be misunderstood and to be vilified for being things that you aren't. But when you point that out, then people say, "Oh, you're just feeling sorry for yourself. You're just being self-pitying. Stop with the pity party." If you're familiar with that whole scenario, then you're familiar with the scenario that makes for the plot of Dream Scenario. Yeah. So see it, I guess, but be ready. Be ready. Because it's painful. It's painful to watch. Or maybe it was just painful for me. Maybe it won't be so painful for you. I hope not. Anyway, there you go. My raw movie review right outside of the theater, just minutes after walking out. I didn't walk out, but the movie ended, so I walked out then. All right. Thanks for watching. Leave your comments below.